But yeah, I'm just around here pilling around. Looks like the team, the crew, is coming out now to do farm chores. There go Megan. Look up, strong, farm strong. How's it going? Oh.
There's always tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, if I could fly, ooh, I would be with you every second of my life. Sometimes it's just another day to get through, but it's not easy when you're blind from the truth. I see it as my call. Wanna be with you every second I got.
So I already have a order set for some more gravel, and we're gonna touch up the gravel on our driveway, and then I'm gonna do a little gravel driveway going into this farm gate section here. So I.A.G Farms, all about God. All right, y'all, I'm back out here on the barn site, and I'm pouring sweat already. Just that little bit of work that I did right there, and it's not too late into the evening, and it's hot already, and I'm working in the shade. I just texted Megan and told her to send one of the teenagers, one of our kids, out with my sweat rag. I forgot my sweat rag. What's up, Tim? You got it? Mm-hmm. Thank you, buddy.
Wow, you tore the thing off?
Yeah, I tore it off. I'm out here trying to clean up a little bit, trying to do some little projects, piddling around. Thank you for the sweat rag.
You're welcome.
Y'all have to come out and do farm chores?
Yes, sir.
Good, good. All right, I'll see y'all in a minute. All right, y'all, me some of the sweat wiped off me so I don't look too crazy. But as y'all see, I'm just working on just piddling around with some different stuff. As y'all can see, I have my ladder set up here. Let me let y'all see what I'm potentially thinking about doing today. So if y'all missed our last video, first off, shame on you. But for real though, on our last video, we kind of got in here and cleaned up everything. And on the last couple of videos about the barn, we kind of cleaned up the barn site. And we got some stuff that we need to burn over here. And we tore down this old firewood rack. And we're just trying to get everything, all this old stuff, you know, that we just had temporarily up, just rigged up, that wasn't permanent. We're getting all this stuff tore down. We also limbed up our old tree here. And this old oak tree, and we told the whole story on the last video about this oak tree. And this is the one tree that we left, because it was all trees, big old pecan tree we cut down over there. And it was little trees and briars all out in this area. And we decided we felt led to leave this one tree to be shade for this area. And so we limbed that tree up to where to grow tall above the barn and shade out the barn and shade out parts of the garden. And this is all of the old material, the scraps. And Megan actually did this all herself. Piled all this stuff in this bin, because as you see, all of these old boards have nails in them and everything. And so anything with a nail in it, we're trying to either burn it in this barrel or burn it in that bin over there, that old cattle water. And that cattle water, actually, that was what I used to use. Let me bring y'all over here and show you. It's kind of funny though. But this old cattle water is actually what I used in the city to baptize kids in. You can see the size of it. We had a big old pool that we used for like grown-ups to baptize them. But actually, I think I baptized Titus in here. And Carter, I don't know if you newbies know about Carter. He's the boy's cousin, one of my sister's sons. But I baptized him in this little old cattle water as well. That was when it was brand new before we brought it down to the farm. Because when we came down from the city, you know, we just brought all the stuff that we had in the city down here. But yeah, that's what we used to use to baptize kids, you know, around 5 years old, something like that. Around Titus and Noah's size. And Noah, he'll be getting baptized soon. But I think I'm going to baptize Noah in the pond. So y'all just stay tuned. We'll make sure to bring y'all along for that. We're just waiting for him, because usually I baptize kids when they're around 5, you know, when they profess. But it's not based off their age. It's based off their understanding. You know, and Noah still has a few things to learn. So I'm just kind of waiting for him to get to that place where he can understand what baptism is and understand that process. But yeah, I'm just around here pilling around. Looks like the team, the crew, is coming out now to do farm chores. There go Megan. Look at her, strong, farm strong. How's it going?
So silly.
Oh yeah.
Good. We're finally getting a break from being inside, so we like coming outside.
Oh yeah.
They love it when the little alarm goes off for farm chores.
That's right. So y'all breaking from homeschool. Not really breaking from homeschool,
Well,
but this
yeah.
is a part of it, right?
Different type of. So we're breaking from the classroom.
Vocational learning.
That's right.
Yep. For trades. That's right. Yeah, I was just telling them about this bin over here. I just remembered that we used to use that for baptisms in the city.
Oh yeah,
We actually baptized Titus in there.
Yeah, that's right.
And Carter.
And Carter, that's what I told him. Yep. But anyway, I'm just walking.
By fire.
Exactly. Yeah, we're baptizing by fire. That's something though. We were baptizing by water back then in that bin, but now it's by fire.
Right.
That's the next level. Holy Spirit.
We're using it to like clean up and purify things around the farm.
That's right. And catch all the impurities, like I was telling them about the nails and everything. How we don't want the nails to be around the property. So that bin is catching all the impurities. It's not only like eliminating them and burning them down, but after it gets so hot and we burn them enough, some of those nails might melt down. You never know.
Yeah. That's amazing how the Lord just speaks through something like simple like that. You know? Wow.
And how he uses us both to give us part. Like the Bible says, we prophesy in part, we know in part. You know, because I had part of the prophecy, part of the story, the testimony. And Megan had to come out and share that other part, because I didn't think about that, you know. So that's beautiful. I love it. All right, y'all, I got some, I cleaned up a little bit for y'all. I got y'all's buckets hung to y'all.
I love this.
It's just kind of temporary, like I said, but it was just an easy fix. Put a nail in there, hang the bucket, and get it off the ground.
Like Tim comes into like a place and he makes it so much neater and more efficient. And it's like I never would have thought of that. I'm like, it's a bucket, you gotta fill
Lay it on the ground.
You know, like just go, 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 go. But like you were saying, you bring that part, and so like when you see something, you think, how could this be better?
Yeah, make it better.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome.
That's right. I'm not gonna disturb y'all too much, y'all. Do y'all chores. Yeah, I'm just walking around, y'all, trying to figure out what I want to do today. And right now, I'm just piddling. Like I say, it's just so hot in this season. You know, you can't hardly do too much. So I'm just kind of piddling around, knocking down some things that I can. And I'm actually preparing myself for next week because I'm gonna be going out to the ranch, and we're actually gonna be starting the inside renovations on Grace, my mom's mobile home down there on the ranch, next week. Early Monday morning, rain, sleet, snow. We're going down there. We're getting going. And she's down there now with some plumbers. They're hooking up some water spigots for her. And yeah, so she's getting that out of the way. I told her, get everything outside done she want to get done. We did some tractor work a couple days ago, driveway work. We've been doing some erosion control, grass cutting, because next week on Monday, we're getting in there and we're going to start ripping out carpet and caulking and painting and just doing all that good stuff. So, but let me just walk around a little bit more, figure out what I want to do. Like I said, I'm probably not going to get into too big of a project today, but I'm just gonna piddle around and just see what I can get into. So y'all just stick around for today's journey. It's I.A.G Farms. It's all about God.
sheet now, just making sure that was all buttoned up right. Hopefully the chickens eat that. These sheep are calling for us.
Over by you, by the delta, there's a river that runs both ways, and the cypress go on all day. If you want to, we can go there, and to be there with you. In the summer, I'm out there fishing. When the catfish is ready to bite, and when the nets are filled with crawfish, it's a sight. If you want to, we can go there, and to be there with you. Oh, Jama.
All right, y'all, we have just gotten done with farm chores, and Tim had mentioned yesterday that he had a really great Holy Spirit given idea to keep the sheep on pasture but separate, because we really want to keep the sheep off of the barn site. We have so many different plans for it. So he's going to walk me through this idea, and I'm excited to hear it.
All right, y'all, so I'm finna walk Megan through the plan, and I wasn't gonna do it on camera, but I say, hey, I'm walking Megan through the plan. I might as well walk you all through the plan as well, because the goal is to try to keep the sheep off of the barn site. Because if we start putting animals on the barn site, it's gonna be like an endless process of like just messing it all up, you know. So if we can keep animals out of the barn and away from around the barn, and maybe have this barn like as a section where we come and chill, where we, you know, we can have a spot out of the rain to pull like a tractor or something like that to need the oil change. Not necessarily storing the equipment there. We have plans for another barn, a big old, you know, barn, metal type shed foundation that we're gonna do down by the pond, the other end of the property. But we can still pull things in here, you know, for the time being, change oil, you know, just do different maintenance type things as well. But if we want to keep it nice in here so we can come and chill, and Megan and I, we've been talking about marrying people like under the barn, a nice little small country wedding if we had a barn real nice and everything. But so in order to keep animals off this barn site, because this is the easiest place right now, this is the only spot off of pasture that we have for our sheep to put them at, to lock them in, to separate, you know, the males from the females, to separate babies and things like that. But the Lord gave me an idea, if y'all will follow me this way. And I was trying to figure out what will be the most efficient. Like Megan was saying, when I come in, I think about efficiency. That's just the gifting that the Lord has given me, like visionary. I see things before they happen, and I try to figure out what's the best plan to execute those things. And so I was trying to figure out, okay, what is the best setup that we can do to actually get our animals to where we can separate them? Because last year we ended up, we can stop right in this section, I think. Yeah, right here. We're right in the right spot. Because last year we ended up putting our rams in with our ewes too early, and we ended up losing a couple babies. You know, I can't remember how many lambs that were born that we lost because they were born in the rain, you know, in the cold season. I think our lambs were born like in February, and that's like the height of winter in Mississippi. And so we want to wait until March, you know, until springtime when it starts to warm up, you know, and then you have a higher chance of not losing animals because of, you know, cold rain and things like that. And so we ended up putting our males with our females too early last year because we didn't have a way to separate them. And so now I'm trying to figure out the way to separate them, but to do it in an efficient way to where we don't have to like fence off completely different pastures and do all of this complex stuff. So if you look right through here, if you see this post here, boom. And then if you look down through there, Megan may have to zoom in.
See if I can zoom in on it.
You see that post right through there.
See if I'm zooming in on the right thing for you.
Yeah, let's see if you can zoom in on it for right there. You see that post right through there? Right there. All right, you can zoom back out now. All right, so if you look at this post and then the other post way down there that I just showed you, those two posts, because I would like for them to be like going straight down like through, right, straight down through like that right there. But this fencing is actually at an angle. And so that post over there is a little bit further back that way than this post, but it actually goes with the layout of the fencing. And so all I would have to do is put a farm gate in down there at that post and then put an H brace. And then I already have a good post here. All I would have to do is dig another post and then make this into an H brace as well and stretch one little short section of fence right there and have a farm gate, you know, to be able to move animals when we need to, you know, move tractors and things like that. And what will happen is that, so our rams, we have 2 rams that are breeding age that we keep, you know, one main ram and a spare, you know, just not a spare, but, you know, it sound like spare tire. One ram and then a backup ram, we'll put it like that, you know, a buddy, a pen mate, we'll put it like that. And so those 2, if I leave them out in the big section of the pasture during the wintertime, because, you know, you're not supposed to have the animals on the pasture during the wintertime because they'll mess the grass up and it won't grow back. But just them 2 on 2 acres, 2.5 acres of pasture, they wouldn't bother it too much, you know. But if I had all the ewes and everything out there, they would bother it too much. So my goal is to have the rams out here until we're ready to put them in with the ewes, and then to have the ewes in this section here. And so this fencing, this divider here, would divide this section from this section down here. And you already know we have the barn site fencing that divides that. So this paddock would go from here all the way to the barn site, and the ewes will be in here. In this section right here, you know, we'll be feeding them hay and everything. We're not worried about the grass. So that's kind of the plan, and to keep the males out here and just let them roam on the big pastures. And like I said, until we're ready to move them in. And then once it's time to breed, I think it's like November, October or something like that, you put them in. And at that point, then we can move the males in with the ewes. And this area right here, because this area doesn't grow grass anyway because there's too many trees, you know. And so we'll just, you know, use this area for their winter paddock and keep them off the barn site.
I like that idea. I think it's a great idea. The thing I like about it is it makes use of this section, and our sheep actually eat leaves as well. So during that time, you know, the leaves will be falling from the trees, and so they'll have forage even though they won't have grass. And this section, they love this section. This is one of their favorite sections. I think they kind of shelter here from, they sleep and shelter here from the rain, from the sun. So they're going to love it. It's a great idea. I love it. I love this idea.
Right. So start them down there and then just kind of just walk down and show them like the different divisions of the pastures. Because they might not be able to quite see it on camera like so just turn it around and walk them from there and show them the different paddocks that we're talking about. Just to give y'all a clearer picture of what we're talking about, this is the barn site in this barn section, and we actually have some fencing right here with a farm gate that leads into our open pastures. And so here's the gate. Just walk down here so you can see it. Here's the gate here, and here are open pastures here. So in the past, we've used this section that I'm in now, the barn section, to overwinter our animals or to separate the rams from the ewes. We don't want to do that anymore. So now in this open pasture, Tim has the idea to kind of easily divide off this first section. So I'll walk you to the pole that he's talking about so you can see kind of how far along or how large this section will be. So I'm still walking. So this section wouldn't end until we got to this pole here. So it's a fairly
large section. It'll be perfect size for overwintering our ewes. And the great thing is there's a pole. Am I at the right spot?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I see the pole now. There's a pole right across from this pole, so we'll be able to come in with, did you say fencing or cattle panels?
Fencing.
Fencing, so we'll be able to come in with fencing.
Line of fence. I already got
some H braces.
I already got all the posts.
Awesome.
I already got enough fence.
Awesome.
So all I need is some manpower.
There you go.
And a farm gate.
More like woman and children power.
Exactly, yep, and grandma.
And we have a gate. It's a small gate, but
It's too small. We want to make it big enough to where you can get a whole, like if you need to get a whole cattle haul, a whole truck
I got you.
through
Okay.
there. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. We don't want to limit our
Want to
pastures
be able to get a tractor
like
through
that.
there. Yeah.
Most definitely. So that's this whole front section where I showed you the gate. That's where this section starts, and it will end here. So perfect section for our ewes, and then we would just let the rams have the rest of the pasture, which it stretches all the way down to the pond. So I'll just kind of walk you down so you'll see there'd be no way for just 2 rams to damage all that grass. But yeah, so just to get an idea, I mean, like probably 6 times the size of that pasture, maybe even more. But yeah, so it would stretch, the rest of our pasture stretch all the way down, clear down the driveway to the pond. So here, so you can kind of see if I can zoom in, you kind of see the end of our pastures right there at that big H brace. That's the end of the pastures that are fenced off, and right at the top of that hill is the pond dam.
Just walk them down because we
Sure.
talked about where we're going to put this bigger barn in.
Sure.
Show them that real quick.
Okay. We decided to walk you on down to the pond to show you, because we had mentioned before having an equipment shed, like a big barn. So Tim decided, let's just walk them down and show them. So come along, we'll walk you on down and show you. Tim is in visionary mode, so he's full-fledged, you know, envisioning, and also he's recalling some of the vision that the Lord has given us already. Because, you know, this was a goal of ours from the beginning, was to take some of these bigger pastures and to break them down into smaller paddocks. So I'm glad to see those things start to come to fruition. So I talked us about halfway down already, but we're approaching the ends of our pastures here that are fenced off.
One day, this will be fenced off as well. This whole side of the property will be fenced as well. But for now, we're gonna talk about what's fenced off already.
Okay.
So I already have an order set for some more gravel, and we're gonna touch up the gravel on our driveway, and then I'm gonna do a little gravel driveway going into this farm gate section here. And if you can see behind me, you see where that big tree is at? We're still debating about that big tree because I want to get it cut down just to open that space up, or maybe limbed or something. Just something needs to happen to that tree because it's like right there in my spot. But right there in this section right here is where our big like metal shed type structure barn will go at. We don't know if we're gonna just order like one of those metal carports and get a big one, or if we're gonna have somebody like put poles in the ground and like do like trusses and build a big barn like that. But that'll be the plan. And this barn will be mainly for like equipment storage, like trailers, tractors, side-by-side, zero turns, things like that, and just overall storage. And it'll be so big that we can frame in different areas and things like that. And I also, if you see the H brace right there, I want to take a line of fencing and take that line of fencing going straight down that way and attach it kind of like we're doing down the other section, and have this barn section fenced off to where the animals can't access it. But there's going to be a lean-to off the side of that big, you know, metal barn, carport, whatever type of barn we decide to do. And that lean-to is going to lean over that fencing so that the animals, like we'll have a spot to put the animals at, have shelter and things like that in this big pasture. So that's the plan, kind of right in here. Like I said, we're going to have some gravel that comes down through here. A nice established gravel driveway going to that equipment shed so that we can bag in and get trailers anytime we get ready and all those type things. But that's the plan. And y'all already know, I already talked about before that we're going to fence off the section above the pond. We're going to fence off all of this over here. But those things will just be established and developed over time. So that's the plan. hopefully y'all can see our vision, and if not, just stick around because it's gonna happen. y'all won't have to see it just by faith, you know, just by dreaming with us. Y'all will be able to see it in reality.
All right, y'all, that's the vision, and I think Tim has a couple more things that he wants to get into today, so he'll just pick y'all up and bring y'all along with him.
Johnny boy, put your hat back on. Now you're out there on your own. Johnny boy, you got a long way to get around. Go inside, find your own. Where hummingbirds are flying in the sky. Dreams are coming true. A magic place where you can count the stars. Just lay down in the middle of the night, look up to the sky. Tennessee skyline. Johnny boy, you got your boots back on, kicking dust in a new direction. Johnny boy, you built a house of love upon the hills of Tennessee, yeah, where hummingbirds are flying in the sky. Dreams are coming true. A magic place where you can count the stars. Just lay down in the middle of the night, look up to the sky. This is where you want to be. This is the place for you and me. Yeah, this is where we wanna be. In Tennessee, in Tennessee, in Tennessee, yeah. Where hummingbirds are flying in the sky. Dreams are coming true. A magic place where you can count the stars. Just lay down in the middle of the night, look up to the sky. Hummingbirds are flying in the sky. Dreams are coming true. A magic place where you can count the stars. Just lay down in the middle of the night, look up to the sky. The Tennessee skyline. Oh.
All right, y'all, I think I'm about done for today. As y'all saw, I got these gable ends framed out to where I'm ready to go up with OSB. Let's see if I can see them. Yep, up there. Got that framed out, so all I got to do there is cut my OSB and get that put up. I also got the other side done. And I was just kind of pilling around today. Y'all saw I took down the this cattle panel that was there. I got that cattle panel divider that was inside of the barn taken out. And we're about to get started probably within the next couple of videos, cleaning the inside of the barn out because that's a pretty important part. And a lot of that stuff that's over there, a lot of that stuff is just junk, you know. But some of the stuff, a lot of the stuff like the paint and all that type of stuff, we're gonna put it up on this loft here. And this is just pretty much a storage loft. We have 2 other lofts as well in the inside of the barn. And a lot of that stuff up there, just little small lofts. But a lot of that stuff up there can be thrown away and we can use that space for something else. Because like I say, most of the stuff down here we're not even using. We don't use any of this stuff. And while we're cleaning out this stuff, we'll probably find the stuff that we actually need to use that we can't find now because there's so much junk in here. But it's not a lot. Like I said, it's just stuff from renovations, paint, trim, you know, mop buckets, all that type of stuff. So we'll be able to sift through all that stuff. Like I said, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing these gable ends like this. Because I could have left these ends open. Because like I said, that's the only part I'm going to do. You know, I'm going to do a wall down that side. I don't think I'm going to do a wall back here. Just in case I want to be able to pull some equipment in through here. Just so we can just sit down under there, you know, under the shelter of the barn. And be able to look out onto the garden. You know, when the garden is planted. Like, you know, probably this fall or next year or something like that. When we have a garden. Be able to look at the garden getting watered during a rainstorm. But yeah, that gable end is going to help it to where I don't have to frame in the side of this loft here. It can be open, you know, for air circulation, so it won't get moldy and things with things that we're storing up there, and to keep the rain off of it. So we have a good sideways rain. This gable end here on both ends will make sure that the rain doesn't get in. But everything is looking good so far. The boys have actually been out here already hanging stuff. Noah put that right there. It's just a little rusty piece from like a wood stove finishing piece that we didn't use. But that's gonna be our goal, is to find like old horseshoes and things like that to hang around the barn. Have some like lights like strung up, like almost like the I guess they call them Christmas lights, but they're a little bigger. Had those kind of strung through the barn. Have some little lights that can be out here, and then I'll probably do some off-grid solar lights, you know, with some light switches and something like that. But maybe eventually we'll run a power line, trench a power line back here, and have sure power back here at the barn, so we can just flip on light switches just like we do in a regular house. But yeah, that's about all for me today, y'all. Megan and the boys, they just went to the post office. It's probably about 6 o'clock, 6:30, something like that. And I was still working. I was about to go ahead and try to put that OSB on the gable end, but I said I'll say that for another day, because you know, I've been going all day ever since this morning. And I actually went down to grandma's property down there to the Resurrection Ranch, and we had a guy coming down to do some measurements for countertops, and I had to go down there and oversee that project. And they got all their measurements and everything, and we're gonna talk to our cabinet designer, and he should be getting some cabinets, kitchen cabinets designed for grandma down there on the ranch. And we're gonna kind of see what the budget is like and see if we can fit new cabinets within the budget. Like I said, I know grandma wants some big fancy nice cabinets, but just like we did, we had a budget cabinet install. Like I said, we had to, because I think it was like $20,000 if we would have did bottom cabinets and top cabinets. And we decided to cut the top cabinets out and cut that price in half. And so we ended up spending about $9,000-10,000 on our cabinets, you know, but that's with the quartz countertops and all that type of stuff, like I say. So, you know, we want to get something nice for grandma, but we also want to stick to a budget. You know, we're all about the budget because it's debt freedom around here. We're not, you know, if we can't pay for it in cash, we don't get it. So, but anyway, we got that project going on down there, and y'all will see that on the ranch. But I think I'm done today for what I'm gonna do. Like I said, I wanted to get that OSB up, but I think I need to go on, shut it down, because I hadn't eaten lunch, and I skipped through lunch and worked through lunch. So I need to go ahead and get something to eat, get some liquids in me, and just get settled down for the evening. But I have to see y'all on the next one. It's I.A.G Farms. It's all about God. See y'all.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and far away. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born.